This is going to be his third time mentioning Bill Cosby.
No.
Because whenever you laugh and then pause, you're like,
don't have to mention Bill this time.
This was a different time.
This was a, hey. Well, okay. Well, see, but this was a different time does still apply.
Time and time again, see, I be thinking about that future. Back in the day, ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Was having that nigga B-I-D-B-O-I, that be me. I'm like, no matter what the season, forever chill with Smith.
To all the real niggas, double like the players, that's the way.
Get up, get out, and get something.
Just cut it in there.
For the sound, hootie-hoo that I made, hootie-hoo.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Full Spin Club. My name is David Stewart, and we are here for Season 2, baby. Hey-o. So, for those who have not been to the show before, this is an album listening club, similar to a book club, but way cooler because music is more fun than books. Today, my guest is comedian Phil Pointer. Give it up for Phil, everybody.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you. Please. The thunderous applause is not necessary. I appreciate it. It's Full Spin Club, but I know so many fans, so many places. But please,
I know.
Please, let us keep going.
It's a small room, you guys. You guys can't be too loud.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for having me today, man.
For sure. Quick rundown of the segments of the show. They are the same in season 2 with a few change-ups, but we have the first segment called On a Pedestal. We now have 3 questions that we ask our guests that are going to be the same for every show, maybe a little different depending on if the guest brought the album or if I assigned them an album. Then we have On a Spit, which is where we talk a little more negatively about it with 3 more negative, jaded questions about the album, about like what would you take away and stuff like that. You know, try to get the guest talking about what they like, what they don't like, that kind of thing. And then we have On a Turntable, our classic, where we get to know our guest even better via the music, which is my favorite thing of all time. And then at the end, we have Record Scratch, which is the mini game that I've made up for each guest. So please stick around to the end of the episode if you want to watch a fun mini game that I've made just for Phil here. So without further ado, are we ready to talk about the album that you brought today, Phil?
Yeah.
All right, Phil, what album is that?
It is Southernplayalisticadillacmuzik by OutKast.
All right, yeah.
And I had to concentrate real hard to get that name out properly.
Don't worry, I was telling people what I was doing this week, and every time I fucked it up in some way.
Let me ask you, have you had many rap albums on the pod?
I've had a few. I did Mirrorland by Earth Gang, which I did that with Cody Walker because he wanted to dip his feet back in hip-hop, and I thought they were a fun crew to do that with. I did To Pimp a Butterfly with Allison Stapp.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah. It was back in the...
Wait. Who are you?
So the guest bringing the record or me assigning the record is new.
Okay.
So in the early days of the show, I wanted to... put like people who I thought had like no business listening to that record. That's why Zach Wycuff listened to this album, Around the Fur by Deftones.
Wow. I love it. I absolutely fucking love it.
So I gave To Pimp a Butterfly to Allison Stapp because as like a bit, as I was finding my legs in the show.
So did she roll with it or did she just...
She did.
Okay.
She did.
That's just funny, is it?
Yeah. So the concept was funnier than it was in practice, and that was tough.
Well, of course. It's always going to be that way. Always. Because there's going to be moments where she's going to be like, what is... But
yep. And that was back when I was trying to be a little more like Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis as well, and make it awkward. And then I ended up just kind of being racist, which is tough. So like that. Anyway, go check out the episode.
If you really want to see why the pod was canceled for a couple of months and had to be revamped with some rules and regulations, go back and check season 1.
Yeah, season 1. You might also see a few missing episodes for reasons we won't talk about, because that's just tough all around. All right, so one of the new things that I've added to the beginning of the show now that we are in season 2 and we're learning, we're growing, we're doing all the things, is a little segment I like to call Liner Notes, which is the simple question, why this album, Phil?
So, this album is literally OutKast's first studio album. that was put out by by them and the Dungeon family, working with the Dungeon family, which is Goody Mob and other artists like that, Sleepy Brown and people with that. Anyway, CeeLo as well. CeeLo's part of Goody Mob. But the first time I heard that was I was in college, of course, and I was looking at some videos that somebody had recorded on a VHS. And one of the videos that came across was that Southernplayalisticadillacmuzik video. And I just, the song fucking instantly hooked me.
Yeah.
It instantly hooked me. And so from there, being in the South at that time, they were more big down South than they were most other places. But they were getting there. And I was able to come across the rest of the album. And of course, fucking loved it too. Banger after banger. So it's like that album introduced me to this group. And this group has been huge in music itself, true, but also has just been like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Like anytime anybody asks me like who are some of your favorite, like I can't say that I've ever had one single solitary favorite, but when you ask me who some of my favorites are, OutKast definitely is on that list.
For sure.
Absolutely, pretty high up. So.
Yeah, and like I've known you for a little while, and like I guess like listening to this album, I was like, this for sure tracks, because like OutKast is a rarity in a sense that they are left leaning, like left of center leaning but like in a really traditionally like masochistic or not masochistic, like masculine genre, like hip hop.
I mean, but
and they were like open minded and like.
But see, here's what you got to remember: they were. How do I say it? The ghetto is not as one-dimensional as The Wire made it look.
Sure.
And the problem is that you have a bunch of people in the hood who actually earnestly want to get out. And it's not that there's anything wrong with it. Okay, wait a minute.
There's nothing wrong with
There's
none
nothing
of
wrong.
it,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with getting robbed. No, look, I'm just saying that you can live there. You can, but if you want to get out, if that is what you want to do, and I don't think it's necessarily about trying to make it out of this or trying to make it out of that. Where do you want to be?
Yeah.
As a person, and the voices that they had, even in that first album, was, hey, this is where we're from, so we gonna talk this gangster shit over here. But we're also going to tell you about some other shit because we want to do something else.
Yeah, that's where we want to be. Yeah, and like it was really interesting because like they are one of the few groups, like rap groups, that talk about where you want to be and then intentionally following through with that, which I think was really interesting. And I definitely have some questions about it later. But so thank you for the liner notes to this episode. That's why we're talking about them. Are you ready to drop into our first segment on A Pedestal?
Let's roll.
All right. So because
it's so corny, and I'm not proud of that one at all. All right, let's go.
So because you brought the album,
Yes.
you're a little more in the know than I am, and so I've sort of built these questions around that idea.
Okay.
So for the first one is as someone sharing music, which you are in this case, there's always that hope that our Venn diagram has good overlap as far as like, so if you're sharing music with me for the first time, like,
right.
And this is my first time listening to the album all the way through. I knew of Southernplayalisticadillacmuzik, the single, and like my intro to Let You Know is like in rotation. That's classic.
Yeah.
But like as far as like listening to it with intention all the way through, my first time. So what were some of the things that you were hoping I would pick up on in listening to this album?
So I guess one of the questions I want to ask is, how familiar are you with their catalog?
Decently, but not aggressively.
Because, and I feel like an idiot now. I wore this shirt. So there is an actual growth of a person if you listen to Andre 3000's lyrics. Like from fucking Ain't No Thing But a Chicken Wing. Yeah, all the way to International Players Anthem. Like from a motherfucker that's just fucking and dashing to I typed a text to this girls I used to see. Tell them that it was this cutie pie with whom I want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just it's interesting. So I like I feel like you like a good storyline.
I do.
So I mean, start there and move forward.
Yeah, that's fair.
And not to say big boy also.
Yeah.
Like just became on his grown man shit.
Yeah, I did. I did notice like early Big Boy is interesting compared to later Big Boy, especially the way they're portrayed in the media later in their career. You know, they're always like making fun of Andre for being the art kid and then Big Boy being the gangster. But they were a lot closer to each other in the very beginning.
Of course.
And that's something I picked up on immediately. I was like, oh, y'all are like the same. And then like,
and it's because they came from the same environment.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So I noticed that.
Yeah.
I also noticed the sort of more heady topics, and that was like something that I was thinking about during like my first listen through, and as I was writing questions and stuff, I was like, oh man, they're getting existential. They're getting, they're asking big questions, and that rips. I love.
And that's
music
another
like
thing
that
I loved about this album is that in their very first offering of a studio album, they started with big questions.
Yeah. And that's great.
Because
because like that instantly tells you that their trajectory is only going to go up, because like if they're asking big questions, that means the arc of their career is answering them.
Yep.
And so that rips. Like creatively, that rocks.
I love it.
Do you think I did a good job listening to your
I
pick?
think that you kind of got it.
All
I
right.
think that you kind of got it.
I love getting it. It's like I just missed the point completely.
That's his other one's Full Spin After Dark. Y'all have to check in on the Patreon for that one. That one's behind a paywall for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I now hear it, now that you're saying that. I hear it. That's tough. Anyway, new segment, David sounds gay. Like,
hey, I didn't say you were gay. I just said you were a man that likes to get it. That's all.
Oh, man. I have quips on Diddy later. All right. So for our next question of On a Pedestal, I'm going to name my 3 favorite tracks from my listens, and then I want you to rate my taste out of 10, and then what do you think my picks say about me?
Oh, wow. Okay. I forgot about that part of the question.
Yeah.
Come on, give it to me.
All right. So my top 3 of this record are Call of the Wild,
Okay.
Get Up, Get Out,
Okay.
and Crumble and Herb.
3 very decent tracks. They're not my favorite because of other reasons, but those 3 in particular, Crumble and Herb, like, you're a fucking smoker. Fucking
Get Up. I have a different take on it.
I'm sure you do it. You thought of it when you were high. I'll let you take that in a minute. Anyway, Get Up, Get Out. Well, that's just a fucking, like, interesting ass song all the way around. Mm-hmm. That is storytelling to a motherfucking nth degree. You know what I'm saying? That is CeeLo dropping just fucking 2 sides of a conversation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is just a beautiful song. Yeah. You know?
I think that also has my favorite line of the album, and it's like B-I-G-B-O-I, that be me. Like, for some reason, every time that happens, I'm like, yeah. I was listening to that at the gym. I'm like, I am Big Boy.
Problem is, you said that in the greater Cincinnati area, and people are not going to immediately think gangster rapper.
They aren't.
No.
Maybe.
I mean, you know. Well, look, they do be raping their employees. No, I didn't say none of that. I didn't say none of that at all. I don't know nothing about nothing. Please do not try to sue me. I'm just joking. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay. All right, so what are your picks if these are not yours?
Because it's the first one that grabbed my attention, of course, Southernplayalisticadillacmuzik. Let's see. Crumbling herb, because I like smoking weed. No. No. I'm trying to think there was another one. Anyway, we'll come back to that one. I like the song Hootie Hoo.
Hootie Hoo.
That song, when I talk about the evolution, that's the fucking song I was thinking about.
Okay.
When you talk about the evolution of Andre,
Mm-hmm.
that's the song where he's like, how does that fucking line start? Fuck, I can't remember. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that they meet some girls at the mall, hooks up with him that night. Couple of weeks, she calls him, I'm late on my period. He just hangs up on her.
And then there's Miss Jackson.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a fucking wild progression, man.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I love that song, Hootie Hoo. There was a third one. I can't remember what it is right this second, but I'm going to remember in a moment.
Okay. I will say that, like, so Crumble and Herb, yes, smoking song for sure. But I think of it more of as a minding my own business song, as well as, like, kind of miss me with that, segregation of black people in the government.
I get you.
Yeah.
No, and you're actually right. You're actually right. I listened to this album, but I have a, like, short, I'm going to stop talking. So, anyway, here we go. Crumble and Herb is a great song. So, but you said, you said there was another take also.
Well, Crumble and Herb, like, I was just saying, I had another take on it. That was my other take.
You're minding your own business.
Yeah, just minding your own business.
Yeah.
And, like, it's a cool smoking song, but at the end of the day.
That's all I'm doing. I'm just Crumbling and Herb.
Yeah, man, I'm
I
over
don't know
here.
what y'all doing over there, but that's what I'm doing.
I'm over here. Yeah.
Nah, I mean, that's literally what that song is. And it's a fucking great album all the way through.
It's interesting that, like, neither of us mentioned Players Ball. I feel like that is, like, one of the ones.
That was the third one.
That's the third one? All right.
That was the third one. I was like, there was a third one. Players Ball. That was the third one.
Okay. What do you like about Players Ball?
Absolutely was the third one. Was Players Ball. Okay. You listened to the album all the way through, correct?
Sure did.
Were you aware that there's a Christmas song on this album?
No.
Players Ball is a Christmas song. It's beginning to look a lot like Wood.
Oh, all right. That's what's up.
I mean, that's the opening line of the song.
It's just hidden.
It's beginning to look a lot like Wood.
Dude, more rappers need to make Christmas songs.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful Christmas song because it's literally about Christmas in the ghetto when you ain't got no money for presents, when you ain't got no Santa Claus, when you ain't got shit but poverty around you.
Yeah.
When you ain't got no for real family to celebrate. Maybe your mom and dad strung out, maybe they not. You know, maybe they just broke, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and these are the motherfuckers that's hustling. Because you remember the package store is closed. Okay, my day is ruined.
Yeah.
Fucking Christmas. Every package store is fucking closed.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas song.
Okay.
It's literally what that was supposed to be.
That's so much better than Gucci Mane's Christmas album. Gucci Mane's Christmas album is hilarious.
I will be honest with you and tell you I've never listened to it.
Oh, it's so funny.
Hey, if Gucci Mane comes shooting, remember, I've never heard this. I ain't got nothing to say about it. It's all that motherfucker right now. All his ass. Don't worry, David. There's about 50 white boys with beards in this city. You're fine.
I'll be fine.
You'll never find.
There's 50 white boys who do stand-up in this
That's
city.
what I mean.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean.
It's like someone catches a stray on stage instead of me.
I mean, you know, maybe that would be the one that we need to get rid of.
Fair. All right. So the final question of On a Pedestal is I'm going to choose a single track that I think is the most timeless, and then we're going to agree or disagree, and then we'll say which one is yours. Mine was Get Up and Get Out. I love that. I love that track a lot. I've mentioned it already, and I think it has. And like this was like a hard choice because like there is a lot of timeless songs on this album. Like, I want to preface this with that.
Absolutely.
But I liked that one most because it was the most sort of like big question-y, which usually that signals to me that it's going to be more timeless. Like there was nothing in that song that felt like 1994. It was talking about big picture things. And that seems to stand the test of time.
And I mean, that is, and I have to agree with you that is like, if you want to put one song up, see, the problem with me though is that I want to put more than one up only because of the fact that it was a fucking album that was raw enough and gangsta enough to get the hood on board.
Yeah.
But it was still getting the hood to ask some of them big questions.
Yeah.
And it happened around a time where things for black people were looking a little bit more happy and shit.
Yeah.
I think it was Obama. No, not Obama. Shit. Clinton, I think, was in office or something. Like it was crazy. Like it was like fucking. I'm gonna have to say this, and I'm gonna have to let you people know I am old as shit. Okay, please do understand that I am old as shit. So when I say this, fucking just listen to the rest of the goddamn podcast, you motherfuckers. Bill Cosby was on TV wearing HBCU shirts.
Yeah.
And I went to an HBCU. Matter of fact, on his final episode, which was the most watched episodes that was on TV, period, he was wearing a Tuskegee shirt.
Oh, that rips.
So it was the best thing ever. Back then, it was the greatest thing we could ever see. Back then. I mean, back then, it was like dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there was a lot going on that OutKast could step right into the scene. Also, there was, at the time, there was that big East Coast, West Coast beef as well. And I don't know how deep into this shit you go, but is Source Magazine's even still a thing? I mean, online, digitally. Yeah. Fuck it. Anyway, there used to be this thing called Source Magazine. It might still be out there. I have no fucking clue. But they used to have an awards show, a hip-hop awards show. Now, let me tell you something. Rap has always been violent. Rap has always had beefs. Rap has always had shooters. So the Source Awards happened maybe 3 times. Maybe. Maybe.
That's it.
And the third time got shot up, and that was it. Yeah, I think third time somebody got murdered, and that was it.
Well.
Maybe not inside, but like right outside.
Yeah.
But inside, there used to be fights inside the Source Awards all the fucking time. Anyway, I don't even remember where the Source Awards was held. And I just watched this documentary not long ago. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that OutKast won a Source Award in the midst of a Biggie and Tupac war.
Yeah.
When they were putting out bangers, dissing each other left and right. And these motherfuckers won a Source Award. So the motherfucking crowd boos OutKast. Mind you, this is their first ever. This is Southernplayalisticadillacmuzik.
Yeah.
Okay. First ever. And they get fucking booed. And it's like, what the fuck is... And so Andre gets to the microphone. And it's like y'all out on this East Coast, West Coast bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all disrespecting them. All I got to say is the South got something to say. And that's all I got to say. And just walked off stage. And the whole crew walked off with him. If you ask any Southern rapper, T.I., Young Jeezy, fucking, who else? Actually fucking Bun B from UGK. And anyway, if you ask any Southern rapper, the fact of the matter is they'll tell you that is the moment, because they used to have a national audience for this awards show. And that shit got broadcast everywhere.
Yeah.
And everybody heard it. And everybody was like, well, who the fuck is in the South that's got something to say? All of them will tell you that is the pivotal moment when the South got introduced to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
When he said those words, everybody in the world was like, okay, then let's listen.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, a ton of shit started pouring out of the South.
Yeah.
A ton. So, I mean, the fact is that, like, that album not only was a fucking classic in and of itself, the album also fucking broke the doors open for Southern rap.
Yeah.
And it broke the doors open for Southern rap with tracks like Get Up, Get Out, which, of course, is a big picture question song. But it also had a lot of gangster shit in it. Like, oh, fuck me. I can't think of the name of the song. See, I just don't like being put, you know what?
Yeah.
Never mind, who cares?
Deep.
The fact of the matter is that they put out an album that had a lot of complexity that actually backed up that statement about the South having something to say.
Yeah.
And it actually gave And I'm not saying that motherfuckers wasn't big or gonna be big on their own, but that statement and that album that went with it, because that's how you got on that stage, is from that album.
Yeah.
It was fucking game changing for a lot of Southern artists who wanted to be more exposed.
Yeah, and like I think what's so great about the big questions and like saying the South has something to say is that it definitely adds to like the ethos that I noticed throughout like OutKast's career, where like instead of sinking to other people's levels to enter any kind of mainstream, they brought the people up with them. They encouraged the people around them to come up to their level. He's like, no, we're all going, like we're all getting up, we're all doing this, and I love that mindset for most people, like or for in most situations.
Oh yes, well I mean
like,
the fact is that it comes from a body of work that you have that. You have Equimini. You have, you know, all their other like they have albums that showed you that they can do this.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a matter of, well, when your favorite artist wants to put out something that's experimental, well, they're your favorite artist, so you're gonna see what they do.
Yeah.
And you're gonna still rock with it. And the fact is that you weren't rocking with somebody who had no talent. You were rocking with somebody who could do this shit.
Yeah.
So
man.
yeah.
Yeah, that rips. And that is a great way to end that segment before we start ripping on this album a little bit, because I do have, you know, my little one-liners, because I don't think anything's safe in this world.
Good Lord.
I'm glad you love it so much. I'm here to ruin it a little bit. Are you ready for Honest Bits? Or
Honest Bit, let's go.
all right. First question of Honest Bit is, I'm going to give this album my best schoolyard insult, and I want to hear your defense or how mad you get at me. I actually have two for this. The first one is, this album is so randomly left of center, it's out here looking like Biggie Small's eye.
What the fuck? Okay, so Jesus Christ, that's the problem. Everybody always says that black people are left to center just because they're alive. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, all they're doing is bringing you a perspective from a hood. Wow, fuck all. All they're doing is bringing you a hood perspective, and you're going, oh my God, there's all those left of side. Motherfucker, they're just trying to fucking live.
Oh, yeah, they're trying to live.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, left
I'm
of
not
center,
saying left of center is a bad thing. I want that out there.
Hey. You was the one calling these schoolyard insults. Let me go ahead and
I'm not saying
clarify
left of
that the
center.
word insult was clearly put in the category name.
Man, this hat is blue, not red.
Hey, look here. The truth shall set you free.
I'll send you a picture of my ballot next month.
I don't want to see your damn vote. That's violating a sacred trust. Trying to get them goddamn Trumpers a motherfucking... Hey, they're willing to show their ballots. Let's make them all show them. Fuck off, bitch.
Come on, show 'em. All right. The second one is a little more lighthearted, a little less politically charged.
I did that. I put all their damn juice into that one. For real. I did that. I did that on purpose, and that was so much fun. It was so enjoyable.
It's fine. Please, white guilt me some more.
Well, since you want to add... No, fucking...
This album be saying hootie hoo so much they had to give the Tootsie Pop owl a writing credit. Reluctant laughter counts.
I'm glad this one came up. So, I had a very small amount of experience, mostly because I was too dumb not to go. But I got a chance to be around gang members sometimes.
For sure.
And it was mainly because of nothing. It's because I'm too stupid not to meet people.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm too stupid not to meet people. Okay, fuck it.
What's this guy up to?
Look, when I first got to Tuskegee, they told us there was a Job Corps. You know what Job Corps is? There was Job Corps. Anybody who doesn't know what Job Corps is, it's a place where people can go to if they've had issues in life, like issues with the law or things of that nature. They can go there, learn a skill in a very what's the word I'm thinking of? Regimented environment, and then come out and be skilled to get work and get their GEDs and all kind of shit like that. But we had one on our campus that they were like, yeah, don't fuck with them because there's a lot of gang members in there. And probably within a month, I was cool with 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just dumb shit like that. So, fast forward. A lot of gang activity in the areas I was in. In the South, at one point in time, can't speak for where they grew up at in OutKast, in Decatur, but I heard it a lot in the South, a lot of different places.
Mm-hmm.
Hootie Hoo used to be a gang call.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I thought it had to do with White House because they mentioned it in the album at one point.
Oh, no, absolutely.
My dumb white ass was like, White House.
That's what I remember it being. That's why they used to tell you, don't say that shit. Like we were told explicitly, hey, don't say that. Like for real, don't. I'm like, well, don't say that shit. Like, okay.
Yeah, now I understand why you were hesitant to have me post Hootie Hoo as your promotional song.
Like,
that's fair.
I don't even know if it's still there today.
Yeah.
Like in the places where I heard it being at, I don't know if it's still there today.
Yeah.
But I was told explicitly to not say that shit.
Yeah.
And so I was like, nope, not gonna say it.
Yep.
Nope. So
well, that's good information for me to know too. What if?
Well, I mean, but see, here's the thing. At this point, fucking gang culture is fucking commercialized.
That's actually fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like I heard it, and this is disgusting. I heard where somebody. I hope this wasn't your story because it's disgusting if it was. I heard some guy went on a date with a girl, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm on my period, so we can't do anything. Yeah, my pussy is the ops." What the fuck?
Oh,
that's gang shit.
I've never heard. That's not my story, thank God.
Yeah, but I'm like, wait a minute. It's like back in the 90s when it used to be cool for little white kids to throw blood up in the damn picture on this thing. Like, do you not understand? Like, so this shit's been commercialized at this point. Yeah, and I mean it's out of fucking control. But the overall point that I'm trying to make is that that's what that song like. That's what it was like. Hey, I love this song.
Now I want to see the Tootsie Pop owl like dressed up in gang gear, being like Hootie Hoo.
Well, you got to remember he dropped the hootie.
Yeah,
he's just stuck with the who. Who you think gonna fuck me off? And I'm just saying who is safer than motherfucking other shit?
Who them ops?
Who ops? Ain't no op. Who?
There's the ops. He's like, who? Me?
The ops over there. Who?
Oh, man.
Oh, fuck all.
All right. So the second question of the On a Spit section is, let's say this album is your crush. I'm going to try and shatter your rose-colored glasses by pointing some things out that I don't like about it. Go ahead and rate my flaying of your potential love out of 10, and if you still love them.
Let's go.
Funky Ride is as smooth as Ciroc is high-end.
Funky Ride is smooth as shit. You just don't know what the fuck smooth is if you think
I think it's so. I think
you don't think funky. But here's the thing.
I think Funky Ride is trying too hard to be smooth, like Diddy was trying to get Ciroc to be high end. That's how it's trying real hard, so hard that it passes legitimate smoothness into corny smoothness.
See, here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, even when you think about corny smoothness, you gotta think that at some point, somewhere, that was the trend.
Fair.
So therefore, it's okay, now you're trying too hard. You got too much of it. Why didn't nobody ever have all that shit?
Yeah.
Why was it never possible in the days when y'all wasn't paying no fucking attention to it that all that shit didn't exist?
That's fair. I mean, I hate to mention this, but I also was released in 1994.
I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
and here's the thing. I'm not saying that I personally saw it. All I'm saying is that I've seen enough variation to know that in 1994, that shit was smooth as fuck.
Smoother than "What's your name? What's your sign?" in Big Papa. As soon as they buy that line, I just creep it from behind. Ask you what your interests are, who you be with.
Here's the thing.
What number are you down?
I can't even say smoother than, because it becomes a matter of when he said the South got something to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of, well, now you have to put it up there with that.
Fair.
Like if you're gonna mention smooth ass songs, you're gonna mention that. Let me see. Keep your head. Well, Keep Your Head Up is not a smooth song, but this is just it's an inspirational song.
Yeah.
Fuck. How Do You Want It by Tupac. That's a smooth song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna put those two up, sure, but now you got to put up Funky Ride.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now you got to.
Now it's in the
this is
conversation.
Southern smooth.
Yeah. The fact that I even compared it to a Biggie song at all, that's a fair point.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. Good defense. I like it. My second one is Big Boy in this era is who Levi Denham had in mind when coining the size husky.
Okay, that's just a funny ass rip. I'm not saying it's true. That's just funny.
They're like, yeah. It's like, man, how do I describe this guy? I think it's husky. Because Big Boy wasn't big. He wasn't small.
I mean, the fact is that he was just. I was about to get your podcast pulled from YouTube.
No.
You know, there's all different sizes of nigga, man. You gotta understand. There's all different sizes.
I'm 100% making sure you are in, you are in frame during that. I, for one, would never.
Hey, I'm only gonna say it one time, okay? You only get one nigga per episode.
I have a counter right here.
It's like that South Park episode
Yeah.
with the word shit. Just to keep showing. Oh, goddamn, that's so funny. Anyway, yeah, no. For real, though. I mean, dude was just whatever. He was regular size.
Yeah, he's a regular size.
He was regular size. I mean, he was probably a little bigger than most of the dudes in his hood, so he
It
got
was
the
just
name
in his
Big Boy.
face. I just like even on the album cover, it's just I'm like, brother, this man is
I
husky.
mean, hey, look, she motherfucker been eating. She is. Well, you gotta eat.
I mean, he's enjoying. He's enjoying life. Let him enjoy life.
Still a funny ass rip though.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. This one does involve a little bit of pop culture that you may or may not be aware of. I'm not sure of your Nickelodeon watching as a grown man. Have you seen Jimmy Neutron?
Nope.
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 All right, this isn't going to land, but it might land for someone in the comments. That would be cool. While you're here, like, comment, subscribe. We love all of that.
Do all that.
CeeLo is Black Carl Weezer. I knew this wasn't going to get anything out of you.
I mean, shit. I'm gonna say Weezer, like somebody who wheezes.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Carl Weezer is. I'm going to bring him up because this is worth it. Carl Weezer is like the asthmatic, nerdy character.
Oh my God, Weezer. I guess if you gonna put anybody in that status,
He's just nerdy and round.
No, that is absolutely, that's absolutely accurate. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, CeeLo has bars.
Yeah.
But if I were to superimpose a CeeLo song over like Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron, I bet it'd do numbers.
I mean, I can't say you're wrong. Not even a little bit. Like that is fucking wild.
That's it. That's all I had. That's all. That was, like, because this album is so good, it was hard to insult.
That one in particular, it's like when you show me that picture, I'm like, okay, that's just funny. Like I ain't even got no defense for it. I ain't got no comeback for it. That's just funny as fuck. Like, cause you showed me the picture, I'm like, yep, you look just like that motherfucker. When you say it would do it would do big numbers.
Yeah.
It would do big numbers, mostly because some people would think, oh man, they actually got CeeLo Green and animated him. You know what I'm saying? Like they actually got the rights to use his image to animate him. That's so fucking cool.
I'm trying to find the song that I would do it for because oh man, was he always? He was something else, wasn't he, when he did his solo work?
You talking about Gnarls Barkley?
No, what's the song I'm looking for? It's gonna be so good. Hold on. Oh boy. Big old words. Like off. I don't know.
Big old words.
Big old words off of CeeLo Green and His Perfect Imperfections. Classic.
Word. They ain't small words, man.
They ain't small, but it'd be funny to watch Carl Weezer do it.
Yeah, it would. It would be funny.
All right, that's it. That's all I had because like this album is good.
Right.
It was hard to come up with insults, so I just had to come up with funny ones instead of legitimately like brutal ones.
Success.
All right, hell yeah.
I give it to you for that. That was funny as shit, man. Yeah.
All right, this is the last question, and we each need to choose a song to cut from the record. If we agree, cool. If we disagree, we got to sit here and figure out which pick truly needs to go.
Right. I had this. It wasn't Crumbling Herb. There's another one that's an instrumental on there that is just too much and over the top.
Oh, okay. I think, is it DEEP, like deep? Is it like, there's one with like an extremely long guitar solo that is,
Yes.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Like that one in particular, and it's late in the album.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
the thing.
Yeah.
It's late in the album, so when you're that deep into the album, I mean, you don't want to put your bad shit up. I mean,
This ain't stand up.
You
Don't
wanna
start
put
with your batch.
You don't want to start with your experimental shit.
Yeah.
You want to give them some bangers up top so they can know who you are. And
Yeah.
they absolutely did that shit. But like that deep into the album, a guitar solo that long on a rap album,
Yeah.
like why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? And here's the thing. It was Dave Funk. It was Dave Smooth. And I get it. But it was just, when I was listening to the album, I was just like, okay, this one's a bit difficult to get through just because. Like, this guitar solo is making me think that, I don't know. It was just too much. Yeah, so that's the song I would cut.
Okay. And now you're going to hate it, but it is Funky Ride. because like as far as like smooth songs go, like I get it, and like the guitar is smooth, the instrumentals rule, but like there's like that the way, and like this could just be me being overly sensitive to the sound in and of itself, but the way they say Funky Ride grates on me, and it's like the entire song. Funky Ride. like that's like I can't do it.
So here's the thing. Yeah, no, I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that?
I'm okay.
All right, cool. Just because it's like I give them a second chance to be smooth.
Look, I give you this. Here's the thing. I still think it's a smooth ass song.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that. But and it's like, I think those two songs are back to back.
Okay,
the one with
yeah,
the long,
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I could be misremembering, but it's like those two songs are back to back.
Oh yeah, it's like Flim Flam.
So
is the interlude after.
Yeah,
and so it might be that.
So
yeah.
it gets to be just this long bit of just music.
Yeah.
On a rap album.
Yeah.
And no lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm cool with dumping that section.
All right, maybe we're just agree that both of our songs can go.
I'm okay with that.
And then
I am okay
we
with
shorten this album by like probably 15 minutes in that.
I mean, at least.
Yeah.
At least. And here's the thing. I'll say this. I'll say Funky Ride existing as a single, so you could actually sit in your car in 1994 and ride around smoking a blunt is a good fucking day.
Yeah.
On a Sunday, it's nice and sunny, ain't nobody on the roads, and you just rolling and chilling. Some good shit right there.
That's fair.
So Funky Ride is a good song for that.
I mean, it is a beautiful day right now. It is a beautiful Sunday. You did come here in a car. It seems like you might be speaking from experience.
I can't right now. I can't smoke right now. Yeah, I had a tooth pulled yesterday.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I am. I'm all right though.
All right.
It's one of those situations where once it's out, you feel better.
Yeah. Fair enough. It must be better.
Anyway.
It must be nice.
Nicer than it was, I'll tell you that. No, so yeah, both songs. I'm good with that.
All right. We did it. We made it through the hard section because this was tough. It's hard flaying things that are actually very good.
I mean, yeah, at the same time, though, it's like, yeah, they're good, but wait a minute. Actually, you did most of the flaying and I did most of the defending.
Yeah.
That's actually what happened.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard. It was hard for me to do this part.
Oh, well, then in that case, I'm good. I'm glad it was hard. Trying to tear up something this good. Fuck you.
So that brings us to our final of the regular segments. It is On a Turntable. This is where I sent you some questions ahead of time that were some deep thinkers. Hopefully you thought about them while you were listening.
Yeah.
And so let's hop into those because I think they are good. Something that made OutKast different, in my opinion, was their strict adherence to the themes of following your intuition and striving to actualize your passions. They're a bit deeper and heady than a lot of hip-hop artists of their time. Would you say the mindset they had projected had an effect on you in the way you move in the world? And as a follow-up, do you think that has had a considerable inspiration on your stand-up?
I would, excuse me, I would say that is extremely possible.
Okay.
And it's just because I have always, in my stand-up, I actually like tackling real important issues. I don't really like the whatever,
Yeah.
you know. And there's merit in both. Everybody fucking kills with both. But shit, sorry. This is just the way I like to go. So when I hear artists like OutKast who can bring everything, both sides of it all to play, you know, the gangster shit that's going on, tell you what's going on in the areas, as well as talk about some more intellectual shit, some things that we need to actually consider and think about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's what I like to do, and so it's good to see somebody else doing it.
Yeah.
And so it encourages me to keep doing it.
Yeah. I often talk about, like, and I've said it on this show, I think plenty of times, because it's something I think about all the time. It's that art is like a beacon to your people. And I like to think that, like, potentially, like, given how you had brought this record to the show, that, like, they were a beacon to your people. It's like, I like you, I'm gonna hang out with these kinds of folks, and, like, we're all akin, and, like, you want your work to be that way as well. Right. Your stand-up is your art, and that's your beacon to find people, like-minded folks, and gravitate towards you.
Like, nowadays, it would be like a Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I want to listen to more of.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, Kendrick is actually putting that street and spiritual. I'm going to call it spiritual. Yeah. Putting those two things together.
Yeah.
And it's fucking amazing because he is, just like OutKast, amazingly talented. So yeah.
Yeah. So do you think you have any specifics in your stand-up, like, where you're like, this feels like OutKast to me? I have something in mind that I will share, but if you have anything in your head,
you can go first.
Okay. So I've noticed that your cadence during stand-up is semi-melodic. The way that you say your jokes, I would give it a certain cadence that is not quite beat poetry, but also not quite just regular speech. And so I would say that this reminds me of Southern rap in that way. The triplets, the way that Big Boy and Andre speak their raps, I would say that is akin to how I view Phil Pointer when he does stand up.
Okay. So it's something that inadvertently happens.
Sure.
But it is something that I tell people all the time, that I was born and raised in Cincinnati, but I grew up in Alabama.
Yeah.
And what that means is that I had a family that was very, very protective. You know, very religiously conservative, politically liberal, religiously conservative.
Sure.
So it was a very strict upbringing that I had that I was just always kind of wavering about. And so when I got 800 miles away from home, I got to figure out me.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out me in the South. Now, what that meant to me is I had to learn what people around me were even fucking saying.
Yeah.
And it's no disrespect to anybody. It's just that, honestly, when you get comfortable around people, you speak in a comfortable manner. You know what I'm saying? And they spoke in a comfortable manner, which had that twang, which made some things a little... I have a really embarrassing story.
Okay.
There was a young lady that I was dating in college. When we were first getting to know each other, I don't remember what we were discussing, but for some reason or another, she said, she was telling me about something about lunch that day. And in her lunch, she said she had an orange. And I was like, what, the orange? I was honestly confused.
Yeah.
No idea what that is, right?
Yep.
Do you have any idea what that is?
I do. It's an orange.
See, here's the thing. I had no fucking clue. I wasn't that smart. So unfortunately, she said it, and I said, and she was like, orange, like the color. I was like, oh, orange. Yes. Asshole of the fucking century in that moment. I literally pronounced it correctly.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You meant orange.
Yeah. No, I did that.
Not trying to
That was so shitty of me. And it wasn't done because I was trying to be an asshole. I honestly just didn't understand.
I mean, you could have tripled down. You could have been like, why are you trying to make it sound like the word learn? Why you?
Oh man, jeez.
You going to the gym later? You gonna do some lunges? You should have tripled down. You're already in the hole.
Man, hell nah. Shit, I wanted to actually be with this girl.
Yeah. You can see why I was single for a long time.
Yeah. I see it. Yeah. No, but yeah, no, and it's like, so there came a point where I no longer lived on campus. Didn't really go to school anymore.
There you go.
And just kind of lived down there. But you have to, in order for me to be able to communicate with people around me, because I live down here now. So I got to figure it out. I can't expect everybody to fucking shift to my shit. I had to shift to theirs. So I literally had to learn to speak like I'm from down there so that I could fully understand what was being said to me.
Yeah, to engage in where the culture you're in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the funny part about it is that I never really lost whatever the fuck accent we have here in Cincinnati. I have no fucking clue what it is. But I never lost that. So when I use that down there, they're like, oh, you from New York? Like, no, I'm from Cincinnati. But when I come back to Cincinnati, and whenever I get excited, that shit kicks in.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah.
And so therefore, people are like, oh, you from Alabama? No, I'm actually from here. So, it's so, it's fucking just, where the fuck did we start with this?
Oh, I was saying that your cadence during stand-up
Yeah, that was
is
so
melodic
I mean,
in a
but
way.
see, that's the thing. It's like, and I've always admired rap music, like always. So you said it was like Southern rap. That's what the point was. Yeah, no. So it's like I had to learn how to speak from being down there. And then I used to actually be in a rap group when I was in high school.
Nice.
So,
what was the name? I need to know.
Oh, good God. I don't think we ever came up with one seriously.
Damn.
Cincinnati Style was the last one we had.
Cincinnati Style.
Cincinnati Style. Yeah, this was the 80s. Shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry.
So therefore,
I watched the thing about Kid and Play today. I'm hip.
here's the fucked up thing. You're talking about I'm hip. Bitch, everybody around me is 25 to 30, 37. Everybody around me is 25 to 37. Everybody is 25 to 30s, or 40s. Fuck all. I am 10 years older than the next oldest motherfucker around me. And the majority of the motherfuckers is 20, 30, 40 years. 40, that's not even true. That's not even possible. Yeah, I know, fuck off. Here's the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is, shit, in my head, am I cutting the, but I'm not even going to say that one. That isn't even fucking, hell no. It didn't feel good.
It's all good. It's all good. You're hip to me.
God damn it. That just hurt even more.
Oh. That's fair. Look at my face.
Good God.
You're not going to show this episode to any of your friends now. Some white kid called me hip.
Look, man. So yeah, I probably picked and okay, that's another thing. Fuck all. That's the other thing. Have I ever told you the short and long story of starting stand up?
No.
Me starting stand up. Short story I always tell people is I've been doing stand up now. I've seriously been at it for about 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
First time I ever told a joke on stage ever was around 2003, 2004, somewhere in there. And it was in a bar in Montgomery, Alabama. Yeah. It was, there was this thing in Montgomery called the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, which is basically like an art school for like performing arts, acting, stuff like that. There were a couple of people who were attending the programs there who wanted to add stand-up to their resume. So they started an open mic. Mm-hmm. I was at a point in my life where I was working a job that was cool, but I felt stuck. I didn't know what to do next.
Yeah.
You know? And so I got myself this little notepad, and I was like writing down ideas of what I want to do. Like, maybe that'll help me out. Well, like I said, I used to rap in high school, so I was like, fuck it, maybe I'll go back to that. So I started trying to write raps. But instead of writing raps, I started writing more jokes than raps.
Interesting. And
so I was like, okay, maybe this is about something. And so I found out about that open mic. I went to it. It just so, and it only happened like once. Mm-hmm. And oddly enough, the first time I ever tried to start my own open mic was around 03, 04. Because that mic, I tried to start it back up again and nobody showed up. Yeah. There was no scene in Montgomery at that time. At that time. I think there's one there now. But I went to that mic. I did the jokes that I had at that time. There happened to be some comics there from Birmingham, which Birmingham has a comedy scene because they have a club, the Stardome. So they happened to be there. They saw me do stand-up. They told me to come to their mic. Cool. Now, Birmingham is like just about like Dayton.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. About
45 minutes. Yeah, 45 to an hour, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So, but at the time I was living with a young lady, and it was like every Monday night. And you got to think, it's 45 minutes one way. That's an hour and a half both ways. And you got to be up there for a show. So it was a lot, but I went up there a few times and I did it, and it was fun. The first time I went up there and did it, had a couple of my friends came up and see me.
Classic early stand-up.
Oh, boy. I was given 5 minutes. I practiced in my mirror, and I was like, shit, 5 minutes is not going to be enough time. Like, I'm up here, like, I'm at 7 minutes now.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I get on stage. I say everything I want to say. 90 seconds. 90 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
90 seconds of mostly silence.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I went back a couple more times, and a couple more times I got some actual laughs.
All right.
I got some actual encouragement. So it was there that I actually, quote unquote, started. But again, the drive started to become an issue and things of that nature. Also, I ended up having to come back to Cincinnati because my mother got sick. And I'm an only child, so I had to come back. and I had to deal with that, and it took a while adjusting there. I was doing shows here and there. I even, oddly enough, there used to be a Funny Bone in Newport, and I took a stand-up comedy class there with Sally Brooks.
Okay.
Now, if you don't know, Sally is now a headliner. She's got her picture up on the wall at Bananas. She's headlined there before. She came through Bananas. So it's kind of funny that we both came up through that shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think anybody who took that class does stand up.
Did any well? Yeah, did well.
Look, there was a couple who were just like making a great routine for a party they were throwing.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they were ever going to fucking try to get on the road or some shit.
Yeah, when I was at the Second City in Chicago, there were people that go through the training center there that were just there to make their board meetings more fun.
I believe it.
To just be better in a corporate setting.
So, yeah, it was just, but I did that. I did some other shows. A guy by the name of Rob Wilfong was really instrumental in giving me stage time and allowing me to work and just helping me out in comedy, gave me a lot of advice. Then I started going to Newport Funny Bone more often. I got a host weekend there. It was my first one in the city. And then they shut down. Go Bananas has been my home ever since, and I fucking love it. So, I mean, it's like all those things. You know what I'm saying? All those steps and shit. All those steps made me forget my original point.
Oh, we're talking about your cadence and stand-up, or like how the South may have...
Holy shit, that far off track? I got that fucking far? Damn it. So, no, I mean, but seriously, though, no, it's just how I developed.
Yeah.
It's where I developed at.
Yeah, the South definitely had an effect on it because it's where you first did stand-up. Just like how my first time doing stand-up ever was at Go Bananas. It was in 2013. Yeah. 2013, and then, but actually, it's funny because like you said 2003, 2004 was your first time getting on stage. Same, but mine was in my 5th grade play, and in that 5th grade play, I had a solo song that I was given to sing, in which when it came to be my time to sing said song, words were out of my head. They were gone. They were gone. To which I held the microphone to my face and said, "Oh, crap." Huge pop from the crowd. Huge pop.
Oh, I fucking would have been on my damn knees on the floor.
I was like, oh.
Dying.
And like, so
Holy
to give people perspective, in kindergarten, saying, "Oh, crap," I might as well have said, "Oh, fuck."
Might as well.
Yeah. So... No, that actually earned me a call home. And like the vice principal was like, "Well, I mean,
you can't go around saying crap as a kindergartner."
Yeah,
man.
he's like, or like the 5th grade play, or whatever. And
5th grade, my bad.
And he's like,
I
fucked that up. Yeah, 5th grade. But like, I was like, they were on the phone. He's like, "Well, I mean, like it happened. Like we're not mad, but we thought we should let you know that this is a thing, and we're following procedure." So I got my first laughs on stage. Very early.
Shit. Okay, so that shit that I said wasn't my first time on stage. It was my first time on stage doing comedy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I had been fuck all. Okay, so again, let's go ahead and preface this with I'm old as fuck.
Okay.
So this was back in the early to mid 80s that I'm talking about right now. So I was about 9, 10, 11 years old. My mother had me involved in a lot of pro-black organizations.
All right.
Doing a lot of things like learning shit, training. It was fucking, yeah, anyway. it was fucking just, but either way it goes, they, along with my church, because my church did this too, had us doing presentations a lot. So I had been in front of people giving speeches like for a while. So that's why when it came to stand up, it was a little bit more natural to be on stage. I just had to get natural with being on stage and telling jokes.
Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, yeah, because there was one of the things that when I did that open mic in Birmingham, one of the first ones I did, guy was like, "Yeah, you got good stage presence. You know, you just got to get better at writing jokes." I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Deal. Yeah.
But,
That's
you know,
something I can work on. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's like, I honestly, and plus, I like to take the crowd on a journey.
Yeah.
Like, I Jesus Christ, did you expect the answers to be this long?
No, but I think we're going to make up time.
Cool.
I think we're good. Plus, I love it, so let it roll, dog.
When I write jokes, I mean, most people think about laughs per minute, which is legit.
Yeah.
Which is what you're supposed to think about. I, for some reason or another, find it more fun to write my jokes with what I like to call the Atlas theory. You ever seen the statue of Atlas?
Yeah,
Or heard
holding the
of it?
world.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a little bit of time building this world. I'm going to talk a little bit and do this setup. But if I'm going to do all of that, I got to have a punchline that is strong enough to support it.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to do bits where it starts off building tension. And then all of a sudden it's this big ass crack to turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that shit. And yeah, so it's like all of that shit together kind of dictates my pace up
Yeah.
there. You know,
The South also strikes me as like a storytelling region. Orators.
a lot of
and-
oral
and-
traditions.
Yeah, oral traditions.
A lot of oral traditions.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but oral traditions are a black thing anyway,
Fair.
going all the way back to Africa. Now, I'll be honest, oral traditions are a human thing.
Yeah.
Going all the way back to fucking whenever.
Yeah,
Like everybody has passed on
pre-printing
oral
press,
traditions.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, oral traditions are just normal.
Yeah.
It's just that some people maintain them longer than others. But either way it goes, it's just... Back then. This was a long time ago. Back then. This was a long time ago. Bill Cosby.
The title of this video is going to be Phil Pointer Loves Bill Cosby.
Probably. Probably. And you're not going to name it that. Somebody else is going to name it that. Somebody's going to repost it just to destroy me, and they're going to name it exactly that. Back then, a long time ago, Bill Cosby, before we knew about all the bullshit, had very family-friendly stand-up specials.
Oh, yeah.
And we used to watch them in my house religiously.
Yeah.
Like anytime they came on, we would watch them because it was something you could watch with the family.
Yeah.
And Bill Cosby, even though he's a piece of shit, is a master storyteller. Like, for real, the motherfucker can tell a story.
Yeah.
And I think that probably had an influence, because that happened when I was very young, you know. But I also had stand-up of Whoopi Goldberg back then, and fucking not Rob Reiner, fuck it, anyway, a lot of other people. Here's the problem. It's literally just, I keep forgetting my fucking point. I've got to stop smoking weed before I do this. I've got to stop. Actually, I didn't smoke this time. I just took a bunch of weed pills.
Oh, there you go.
There we are. Well, anyway, here's the thing. Let's just move on because I know that your viewers are like, what the fuck is he talking about?
we got two more questions, and then our fun mini game that everyone's hung on to come play with us. So the second question is, given Andre 3000's most recent release was an experimental flute record, this was a really interesting listen given that this is their debut album. What do you think were the biggest Easter eggs hinting at that like eclectic career from this man? And then similarly, you've been doing stand-up for a while. Are there any Easter eggs in your early stand-up that have like led to where you are now?
I think that okay, to be fair, I I am so old that I'm really kind of getting comfortable with the Easter egg theory.
Okay.
However, from what I understand reading the question, if you look at the different albums and you look at how much more away from the gangster shit Andre was rapping per album, all the way until the ultimate statement, which was Speaker Box and The Love Below.
Yeah.
2 separate albums. One did one did the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it was one of them situations of it sucks because they fucking prolific together, but it's almost like you could see the end coming.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
If you were really paying attention. Like, I didn't pay attention to it. And honestly, your question made me really think about it.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that again, Phil. Your question made me really think about it. And it's like, yeah, every fucking album, it was more and more a 2 separate projects type deal.
In my mind, the kind of like dead giveaway in this album that like, well, like now with retrospect is a dead giveaway, but probably wasn't at the time, is like that guitar solo that you didn't like, you know, like, you know, which is like totally fair because like it's long and like it's just
But I wonder, since they were, I think they were like relatively young, 17, 18 years old. I wonder who influenced that guitar solo. I'm not making any kind of accusations or anything. I have no knowledge at all. If they influenced it, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
So I would say it was probably Andre because I watched like a decent amount of like OutKast content to prepare for this.
Okay.
And what was mentioned a lot, even by his own mother in like a VH1 documentary that I stumbled across, was that he, from a very young age, was like obsessed with sound and wanted to know where sound came from and stuff like that. And like,
I can dig it.
And so his desire to understand sound, I would imagine, was like, I want to hear that guitar because I like that sound.
That makes sense.
And so then like it would obviously progress, and he's like obsessed with these flutes. He's like, I just want to, like, I love this sound, like just like.
I mean, yeah, but see, the fact of the matter is that it was always a trajectory away from, I would say, rap music, period.
Yeah.
Because now he's saying he doesn't rap at all.
At all.
Like, he doesn't want to rap at all.
He's like, I've said what I need to say.
Yeah.
And like
I don't even need to go back and do a tour of the old, no.
He's like, I'm good.
And I mean, that's great. But I mean, I think there was, because there's always, I'm saying always as if I know this for a fact, there's always somebody in every environment that longs to be in a different environment.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get the opportunity to make it to that different environment, be it through music, be it through dance, be it through athletics, be it through pure intellect. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that he may have always been, hey, let's stretch the Easter egg thing even further to movies.
Okay.
You ever seen the movies Four Brothers?
No.
Okay. So it's him, Tyrese, Mark Wahlberg. I don't know who the fucking fourth guy was. But anyway, there were 3 guys who were all adopted by this one older lady in what city was that? Detroit, I think it was?
Okay.
Yeah, in Detroit. And it was a pretty rough neighborhood. But she was known to adopt, like, kids who had issues and who had grown up in rough environments. So they really, really cared about her, and they'd all become adults and moved on with their lives. It was somewhat legal, semi-legal, maybe legal, maybe not. But anyway, they'd all moved on. And except for one, and that was Andre. And he was trying to go full tilt legal. And he was always trying to be the voice of reason. Now, it's an action movie. She gets killed. They go on a vengeance spree. But he was always trying to be the voice of reason in that movie.
Yeah.
If you look at International Players Anthem, you know that song at all?
Not great.
Huh?
I said not well.
That's fine. International Players Anthem is a song with UGK and OutKast. And the first verse is Andre, and it's a verse about him getting married. And I typed this text to a girl I used to see, told her that I found this cutie pie with whom I want to be, and I apologize if that message gets you down. Then I CC'd every girl that I'd CC around town, and hate to see y'all frown, but I see. I mean, it's just like, this is a dude that's like, I'm grown now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been rapping since I was 17.
Yeah.
I'm grown now. I want to do something else.
Yeah, dude, I'm not doing anything I was doing at 17.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Easter eggs, if I'm understanding the concept correctly, they were fucking everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah.
They were in every move he made, even from dating Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
That was because she was not about that violent shit.
Except semi-pro. That is where I wonder, like, he likes to laugh. He likes Will Ferrell.
I mean, you know what? Hey, who don't want to be in a movie with Will Ferrell?
His name was Downtown Funky Stuff Malone. Oh, that movie rips.
Man, look, I love that damn movie. But if you think about it, that's even a move away from what he was.
Yeah.
That's still a move away from.
It was also involved sincerity, which I think he has been his like landmark value the entire time, was just sincerity. He's like, this is how I'm sincerely feeling. And every character he ever embodied, everything he ever did, it was sincere to him the entire time. And so, and he's just beating his path, man.
And here's the thing. It doesn't make Big Boy any less sincere to himself.
No.
He is exactly who he says he is.
Yeah.
And that's who he's always been.
Yeah.
And that's why he is so successful at being who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just their paths. I think that at one point in time, I don't know, and I've never dug into it. You watch the documentary. Let me ask your motherfucking ass.
Okay.
Are we allowed to curse on your podcast?
Yeah, for sure.
I've done it the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah. You're good.
So in the documentary that you watched, did it talk about how they got together?
Yeah, they met in high school. They didn't like each other at first.
See?
And then, like, the paths cross, and then eventually they're going to diverge again. That makes total sense.
I mean, the fact is that I think it was more about I don't want to necessarily say the group, because by the group I mean the Dungeon family as a whole. Because I mean, who was their fucking main producer?
Oh, I forget that. He was in the documentary, though, but I forget his name.
I cannot remember his name. But anyway, yeah, it wasn't Jermaine Dupri. It was not him. I know for a fact it wasn't him.
Yeah.
But whoever the main producer was of the Dungeon family, I think it was a matter of those two dudes were around, and they were like, "Shit, it'd be better to put y'all together." And so they was like, "All right, then, whatever."
Yeah.
And it fucking worked.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like,
but it
if
definitely,
my theory is correct, but it fucking worked.
Yeah, it definitely had an expiration date on it. For sure. It was it's like it's like paying the price at the crossroads, right? Like, you know, like pay the devil with your soul, and like, so that was the chunk of their soul is like, I'll compromise to work with you because it's getting me where I want to go, but as soon as it's no longer serving me, I'm out, and that's fair.
And I mean, if you'll notice, Big Boy transitioned seamlessly into a solo career. Yeah, like with no problem. Yeah, like he always wanted to be solo. I'm believing. Yeah. So, that's I mean, fair. he fucking, bam, Big Boy.
Man, hindsight's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best, ain't it?
Hindsight's so cool.
Dog, I'm a person that I am arrogant when I fucking know I'm right. Yeah. So, therefore, in order to be as arrogant as I have been in my past, I like to research a lot of shit.
I love being
I love being right. And so, therefore, I'm going to research, because if I say some shit and I turned out research proves I'm wrong, what kind of a stupid fucking idiot am I?
I know. If just only more people in America were like Phil Pointer here. Yeah.
It's just me, man. I'm just saying, that's just me.
All right. Are you ready for the last question?
I'm ready for it.
All right. I noticed some themes of existentialism across this record. Crumble and Herb being a good example. Do you think it takes a certain amount of existential fuck it, nothing matters in order to go after artistic endeavors as a career? And for you, what was that moment where you said fuck it and took a swing?
So The fact of the matter is that those extra words. Yes, you have to have a lot of fuck it.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of fuck it, simply because, number one, I came from a pragmatic family, so therefore they have no concept of why you have to drive to St. Louis to do 5 minutes of stand-up comedy and drive back in the same night because you got to go to work the next day.
Yeah.
And you're not getting paid, or you're getting paid very little. What the fuck is the point? Whereas I'm like, that's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what you got to do for this shit. So, I mean, starting there, in real life, you got to fucking say, fuck it. The next position, you are there to entertain the audience. But the audience is going to see through you if you're not really yourself up there.
Yeah.
So,
wholeheartedly agree.
You have to go for a certain amount of fuck it and say, fuck it, I'm going to put this out there and see what happens.
Yeah.
And if it don't work, I'm going to try it again somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if it don't work, I'm going to try it again somewhere else.
If it don't work after that, I'm going to write a new joke.
You know what I'm saying? If it don't work after that, I might have to change some shit.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you have to, at the exact same time, be totally in tune with the audience and everything that they're feeling and saying and thinking. And at the exact same moment, you have to really not give a fuck about what you're saying. If they care about what you're saying. Or if they not care about it. They like what you're saying. Because you wrote the fucking joke.
Yeah. It's got to be yours, dude. You got to own it. You kind of lead the crowd in that way. Like, you're like, I'm going to show you how you guys should feel about this thing.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
Like, you are the maestro and they are your orchestra. And you got to hit your beats, dog.
Yep.
Like, that's.
So, the fact. So, I say that now about stand-up. I say that even a musician.
Oh, yeah. Any artistic endeavor.
And we face the fact that there's a million stand-up comics in the world. Because I've said it over and over again. Stand-up comedy is the one thing that everybody thinks they can do.
Yep.
Because everybody's like, I can stand up there and talk. And you just stand up there talking. Well, get your ass up there then.
Yeah.
But there's 1,000 musicians in the world.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 guitar players. There's 1,000 cello players in the area.
In the tri-state area.
You know what I'm saying? The tri-state area. Not in the world. In the tri-state area, there are 1,000.
Yeah.
So you gotta have enough fuck it in you, just like we do, to go out there and say, I'm the best cellist around. And that takes a lot of fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and fucking pragmatism in general, or just being like, because I think we've all been conditioned so much to live in this in strange capitalistic society, and even where the arts are now capitalized in really weird ways, but we're conditioned to be like, no, go be a cog, go work in the machine, go do a thing, go press the buttons, and it takes a fuck it mentality to be like, I literally will stitch together whatever insane series of things I need to do in order to make this work for me. Look at this YouTube channel. Look at this. Look what I've done to my living room.
He's turning it into an anarchy den. No, but see, that's what I'm saying. It's like we live in a society that has been so, I'm about to go on this crazy man rant.
Uh-oh.
That's so industrialized.
Yeah.
The fact is that, and I'm not on some big old super leftist rant about this, because I'm a person, I believe that, I think I'm going too far. Every political system is legitimate until you put it in the hands of humans.
Fair.
That's where every political system fails.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. Capitalism, communism, socialism, all of them. You put it in the hands of humans, that's where the problem starts.
Someone selfish uses it to their advantage. That's it.
Every human being is subject to the same frailties.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's like, fuck, man. You can't really find any kind of a formula. You just got to go up there and you got to say, look.
Fuck it, I'm making my own, dude.
This is who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we need some regulation. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You need to regulate some shit just to make sure that motherfuckers ain't going overboard.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That's it.
But even with that, I know I'm all over the place. This is gonna be one of the worst episodes that you have in your whole fucking arsenal.
No.
People are gonna look at this episode and go, "That guy was fucking impossible to follow."
No.
No, yeah. So here's what I'm saying. I think that a certain amount of fuck it in any kind of artistic endeavor is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because you are not a part of that machine anymore.
Yeah.
And the way society is set up is that if you are not part of that machine, it's difficult to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say stitch together any old thing, I mean, that's literally what you're doing, because the system is set up to where you either fit in or you don't.
Yeah. So you got to make your own, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild.
And
And I know that's like what OutKast did. It's like why I wrote the question. It's they had but they were so ahead of their time in mentioning that in their first record.
Yeah.
They were old when they were so young.
I agree with that. I do. I also think that it was a necessary move on their part.
Mm-hmm.
And I say necessary because if you're going to take that position, you can't take it in your second, third, or fourth album.
Fair.
Because it's out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So they, from day one, said, yeah, here's the gangster shit, but here's the fucking other shit, too.
Yeah.
Here's the other shit we need to be working on. So, I mean, it was literally just, that is how you start an iconic career.
Yeah.
That's how you start one. Like, you can't go a different direction and start an iconic career. You can start a career.
Yeah.
You can start a successful career.
Mm-hmm.
You can't start an iconic career without taking that kind of a stance.
Do you have a pinpoint fuck it moment?
I have. Oh, God damn it!
I can share mine while you're thinking.
No. It's just I don't want to tell you. I don't want to. Just share yours, and I'll figure out how much of mine to cut out.
Okay. Mine was I was a freshman in college, and ever since the 8th grade, when I had seen Superbad, I was like obsessed with the idea of being in that movie. I was like, I want to be that. I want to be that. Like the entirety of it. I want to be the whole thing.
Okay.
And I was like, how did Seth Rogen get his start? Because I found out that he wrote that movie. And I was like, how did Seth Rogen start? And they said stand up. And I'm like, sick. I'm going to go try. And like all like the weird blogs I read and everything that were like, it's a good way to learn how to be funny. And I was like, yes. But like, and then like I diverted to improv for a while. I wrote like and did that. And then like I found my way back to stand up because it 10 years removed, I restarted. And like started from the bottom again. Right. And this time I get it now. Like now that I'm older and not an idiot. Exactly. I 100% understand what stand up is helpful in doing, but it has never actually been like my end game. I'd rather be like a Judd Apatow style.
I can dig it.
Or
I actually want to do stand up.
Yeah.
I do. I want to start touring and all that kind of good shit.
Yeah. And
that's
like
what I want to do.
I love Judd Apatow still does stand up, but he does it for charity.
Yeah.
And like because he's like, it's an integral part of who I am. It's not my day job, but it is an integral part. And like, that's how I feel as well.
I mean, he's got the ability and the environment to be able to be creative in a stand-up, in a joke writing way, because he's involved in so many comedic performances or comedic projects. That's what I mean. So it's like joke writing is still in his realm.
Oh, for sure. And like that's why I'm still going to give stand up my all, because I want to be the guy who helps get comedy made. I want to be the producer type.
I can dig it.
And so I'm still going to go up there and rip my jokes, dog. Like I'm still going to try and get past, like just for the pride of it,
You know what? I have to say this, and this was something that I thought of when I was very, very early on. I don't know why I had this illusion about being in movies, but I always said, if I'm ever one of those people that gets into movies and I just stand up, like I would want to go to do stand up in whatever city I was filming in. Like just go find mics and shit and just go do stand up. Like, or do shows in that area while I'm on set, on location. That's the word. Like, but I mean, like, that's, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I never wanted to lose. I never want to lose stand up.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never want to lose.
I agree. Yeah. So, but no, the fuck it moment.
Yeah, my fucking moment was in that college dorm. Like, screw it, dude. Like,
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
This is gonna be his third time mentioning Bill Cosby.
No.
Because whenever you laugh and then pause,
we
you're like,
don't have to mention Bill this time.
this was a different time.
This was a hey. Well, okay. Well, see, but this was a different time. Does still apply. I in high school went to a cat. This is just the first time I remember a fuck it on my own type moment.
Yeah.
And I went to a Catholic high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so every morning in homeroom, we would turn one way and say, what the fuck is that? I can't remember the name of what it's called, but Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. Yeah,
I wouldn't know. Yep.
It was so ingrained in me. Look,
Yeah.
Hail Mary, full of grace, blessed are thee. Hail Mary, full of grace, blessed art thou among women. Oh shit! How the fuck? Anyway, who cares? But they used to say that, and then they would turn and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I, in my infinite wisdom, for some reason or another, told you my mom had me in a lot of pro-black shit at the time, and made my decision. And plus, I had a very Christian upbringing, so I was still kind of in the church at that time. Decided that I only honor the cross and not the flag. And so I refused to rotate to the flag. And my homeroom teacher was very pissed and couldn't figure out what the fuck my problem was. And I, at the time, this is the 80s, one of the things that were fashionable was this little leather medallion on a string that was like the shape of Africa in the middle of it. And I had like one of those under my shirt, under my uniform shirt. The school at the time had a dress code where you had to wear pastel colored shirts. I would wear dark shirts. Like I had one that had polka dots all over it just because of some artist made polka dots famous at the time. I don't know why. I just chose to be that in high school, and I've kind of carried that with me since then.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing that I remember, and honestly, it came from a lifetime of being like picked on and bullied and all this other kind of shit growing up. I won't go into all that bullshit, but yeah, that was the first fuck it moment that I remember. So when I came into stand up, I came in trying to be George Carlin and Richard Pryor.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I tried to start there.
I got something to say.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I tried to start there, so.
Hell yeah, man.
I was on fuck it when I got here.
Perfect. There's the clip.
Hey.
Phil Porn, I was on fucking when I got here.
I mean, I was.
Oh, man. All right, are you ready for this fun mini game that people have been waiting for?
Man, I am so ready. Let's hit the mini game.
Mini game, baby. This is Record Scratch, where we are playing a little mini game here. So I came up with a mini game. It's called Who's Sweatin' More? So for those that are unaware, this will be linked in the description, but Phil has a comedy special out on YouTube. It is called Sweat It Out. And so he is known in the scene as the man who sweats on stage. He has his towel with him right here. So I came up with a Who's Sweatin' More game, and I have 3 scenarios for Who's Sweatin' More. Is it you on stage or the thing? So we're going to play this game. Okay. Ready? So who's sweating more, Phil on stage or me when I eat anything on the menu that isn't labeled mild?
Okay. I do want to ask one quick question. How long am I doing on stage?
Ooh. We'll say it is a 10-minute set.
Okay, good. 10-minute set. Now I'm going to imagine myself at my sweatiest.
Okay, please do.
So at my sweatiest, me or you having eaten something that I'm going to say that you eating something not labeled mild is the thing that will get you to my level. I think that will be what gets you up
You'll
there.
know what my life is.
You
like.
know what I'm saying?
You'll know my
You'll
struggles.
carry a towel every time you cross a Mexican restaurant's threshold.
Yeah. I'm better with spicy food than I give myself credit for, but I agree. Like there are certain Thai or Chinese dishes where, or even Indian for that matter, where they ask you like on the scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I'm ordering 3s.
Dude,
If I got a 7, I would like probably melt down.
I have not gotten brave enough to order above like a 5, I think.
Yeah, that's brave.
And it's because I don't fuck with that shit too much. I have a wife that's extremely picky eater,
Sure.
so I don't get to fuck with a lot of off the wall shit.
Yeah.
But I do try to when I can, and I'm like, yeah, let me 4, 5. Let me see what the 5's all about.
See what 5's up. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
All right, who's sweating more, Phil on stage or Rudy Giuliani during that infamous press conference where his hair color started melting out of his head?
I would want to say that I sweated more.
I agree.
And I'd want to say that I sweated more because it only took one drop of sweat to prove that he was bullshit.
Right, yeah. Like
You know what I'm
sweating more.
saying? It ain't take a whole bunch of sweat to prove he was bullshit. It took one fucking drop to prove that he was absolute bullshit.
You're sweating more and you're more authentic at the same time.
You know what I'm saying? I got all this sweat, no bullshit coming down with it. He sweat one drop, some bullshit coming with it. In the damn front lawn of in the front of a damn lawn care service place.
The
I thought
Four
they called
Seasons.
it Red 4 Seasons. Dumbass motherfuckers. That was some stupid ass shit.
Funnier than everything I've ever written.
Oh my God, you can't make that shit up.
All right, this last one, you got to be up on current events to understand this one. But who's sweating more, Phil on stage or Ashton Kutcher while watching his Hot Ones interview after the downfall of Diddy?
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not big on pop culture, but I've seen some shit about this Diddy situation.
Yeah.
And now I know where that clip came from, the Hot Ones. Because can't talk about that. Can't talk about that. Like...
Dude, he's sweating somewhere.
I'm going to say that if I was doing 45 minutes, I could get on his level.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's
You know
sweating more for sure.
Because you can't say that I participated in some shit with some dude who is now... Well, no, he's not convicted yet, but he is now on trial. He's indicted. Thank you. Yeah. He is indicted for some shit that went on at a place that you have said publicly that you cannot discuss what went on in that place. My man, guess what?
He has
you might want to get your people ready.
Sean Evans, like, we love Diddy anecdotes, and he's like, you could not provide a single one.
Look, hold on, and it'd be different if he was like, I can't really think of anything. No, he's like, I can't tell that.
Talk about
can't
that.
tell that.
Yeah.
Like you said, you can't. Why would you say that? Why would you say I can't say?
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher sweating more for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that ends our fun mini game. Go watch Sweat It Out on YouTube. It is linked in the description. We all love supporting Phil Pointer. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
This was fun as hell, man.
I do have a little bit of homework for you. As far as since you brought this record and had me listen to it, I was going to recommend Ghetto Gods by Earth Gang to you. For your drive home, because I think there's a great CeeLo verse on it. Word. They're like the new coming of a duo out of Atlanta. They're compared to OutKast a lot.
Earth Gang, okay.
Yeah.
Before we go, there's one thing I do want to bring up, just because. I'm sorry to be hijacking time.
You're good.
He asked for 3 albums, and one of them was Southernplayalisticadillacmuzik by OutKast. Mm-hmm. One of them was the Death album by Death Clock. because I think that fucking speed metal or metal drummers are fucking endurance.
Drill beats are crazy. Yeah,
fuck. Like
Or
once I
blast
realized
beats is
what it
what
took
they're
to do
called.
that
Yeah.
shit, my God, motherfucker, don't fuck that motherfucker will kick you in the fucking oblivion.
Yep.
But the third album I picked was Throw Your Hood Up by Lil Jon and East Side Boys. Now, I picked that album because if you'll notice, not long ago at the DNC, Lil Jon was able to present the delegates from Georgia's pick for the nomination for a Democratic candidate.
Which is still an insane scenario, even as a premise.
I mean,
Wild premise.
Hey, look. But you know what? Here's the thing: music in politics, music inspires fucking emotion.
Yeah.
So we've got this big music stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Georgia.
Look. If you well, actually, you're right. It is a wild premise.
It's a wild premise.
It is a wild premise. It is a wild premise. Just
imagine being like going back in time, showing the forefathers, "Hey, this is who's gonna do the delegates from Georgia."
That's what I'm saying. Dude, no. Imagine going back to the forefathers of rap and saying, here's going to be producing the delegates for the top cop in America. The top police officer in America? Yeah, this is who's going to be endorsing that mother.
By the way, it's a woman.
Hey,
and that
look.
blows their minds even further.
But this is what I'm saying. So I love the fact that Lil Jon got the opportunity. Great, sure, fine. Number one police officer in the country, sure. If you listen to the album Throw Your Hood Up, and you listen to the title cut of the album Throw Your Hood Up, there's a part. Well, first of all, some of the lyrics on the song are, if a nigga act up, burn him with a black and fucking mild. Black and mild is a cigar. You know what that is? They're telling you to burn somebody with a fucking cigar if he act the way you don't want him to act. Okay?
Yeah.
All the whole time, they're telling you to throw your hood, throw your setup, throw your gang sign in the air. They're talking to gangsters, not Boy Scouts, gangsters. Don't show your troop number or your gang sign up.
Like
that's what they're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what he's telling all these gangsters in a club to do. Now, that's not good enough. Because there's a breakdown. Music breaks down. It's just and he's talking over it. And he says, to all my real niggas and all my real bitches, if you look around, I want you to look around the motherfucking club. And if you see somebody that's throwing up a sign, or you see somebody throwing up a set and it ain't your sign and it ain't your set, I want you to get up in that motherfucker's face right now and say this here. Nigga, fuck you. 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 Nigga, fuck you.
This is my cancel counter. Yeah, ding.
Because you don't want to fuck with me because my nigga's in the club with heat. Why are there people with guns in here? Why are there people with guns? What? Why are you encouraging them to bring their guns to the club, Little John?
And now he's encouraging them to bring their guns to the DNC.
Okay, they might be needed there. They might actually do some good there. Can we take them there instead?
Yeah.
But no, it's so wild. Like if you've ever heard if you were familiar with The Office, which I know you're probably familiar with The Office, then you know Michael Scott's favorite bit by Chris Rock. That song is one of the songs that inspired that bit. Grand opening, grand closing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's that. It literally, like he was trying to get clubs shut down. And now he's delivering delegate votes for the number one police officer
It's
in
the
America.
weirdest timeline. This is the craziest timeline.
I mean, you know, maybe we should roll the dice one more time and see what timeline we get
Yeah,
next.
for sure.
Because this motherfucker is off the wall.
Yeah.
So.
Well, fun anecdote to end us off. Thank you so much again for coming on. And thank you, everybody who stayed to stick around and do all the fun things with us. We will be back next week. And until then, peace out.
I'm Phil Pointer. I love y'all. Bye.
Bang.